So last Monday night my wife came to me with a revelation. She had fallen in love with another man, and she wanted nothing more to do with me. No chance at marital counseling, no chance at a reconciliation. This after we went to the grocery store, picked up our goods and headed home. All the while she kissed me when I arrived, then again in the parking lot after we left the store. Needless to say, I was and still am in shock. My days are long and sad. I am obviously a wreck and I'm having a very hard time dealing with this at the moment. I've lived with this woman for over 10 years, been married for a bit over 9, and we have 2 young daughters, 2 cars, the whole deal. Her grounds for divorce, I was legally served yesterday, are that we have become different people and we are no longer compatible. Not only does that hurt, but it is a huge slap in the face. This woman has been into work from day one and I have been nothing but the idiot who literally bent over backwards for her over and over for all these years. Our current arguments have been over her lack of time being home and finances. She has taken on 3 jobs, 1 overnight shift with 3 to 4 night rotation shifts, and on top of it all she teaches classes on Saturdays. This pretty much leaves me and the girls to deal with not only her absence, but me having to explain my little ones why mom isn't home. Why can't she have a normal job where she is with us every night? It breaks my heart every night when my oldest one asks me that. Over the course of the last 3 to 4 months I have implored to her, "Hey, we miss you, we would love it if you were home more. I miss you and I want to feel you next to me. Our oldest is looking for you." I've gone as far as telling her, "Hey, I'm feeling a bit rejected. I get the feeling you're detaching yourself. I'm worried about us," but none of it seems to have mattered. She continued her work schedule despite me and my kids expressing our concerns to her. Now she wants out and she wants to take the kids with her. If I have lost her, I will eventually heal the wound. It hurts terribly right now, but it will heal. However, losing my girls, I cannot have that, and barring the law taking them from me, I will not have that. For the last 7 years I've cared for these kids and maintained a professional job with 40+ hours a week, all the while she is working and away from home. Even though I made several intentions to show her the money was not needed that bad, over her family missing her, it did not seem to matter. She carried on about her things despite our concerns being communicated. I bathe them, I feed them, I clothe them, I take them to school, I pick them up. When we get home, I set up their dinners, I put them in the shower, I get them out, ready for bed. She has had little interactions with them aside from taking them shopping, to get their manicures or to go shopping some more. Our finances. Like many other families, we have had our fair share of issues. She was unemployed for about 6 to 8 months, bringing in only some cash from her teachings. Yet me piddled along and made the best of it. Now she is asking for a divorce and wants me to pay her lawyer fees. On top of that, she wants me to pay for child support and any fees that are posted during this divorce. The best part of it all, she mentions that she has no money. The 2 times 24-hour shift employer had been paying her cash, and despite me asking for that money to pay the bills and never seeing it, I come to find out this morning she has been saving it in one of our daughter's accounts, and essentially hiding it from me as I do not have access to said account. This is money I presume she had been saving to get this going, but this money should have been coming home to pay the bills and get us through our day-to-day stuff. I am irate that she is using my daughter's name to hide money with the purpose of the divorce, which also leads me to believe she has been planning this for some time. Now, I am not saying that I am an angel. I have my faults too, a bit of an attitude, hard-headed, and I can at times be very vocal. But given the resistance I have been getting from her, the feeling of abandonment, and now the fact that she is playing with my kids' emotions makes me want to blow my head gasket. The proposed arrangements. We currently live in a rented house. When she told me that she was in love with someone else, I told her, "I don't think it is right for you to stay here if you are in love with someone else, and especially after you've just told me you want a divorce." I kindly and in civil form, I asked her to move out. At first, she agreed, but then she retracted this, nothing that I would file abandonment charges on her, which I had and have no intentions of at this time. She wants to, according to the papers, stay at the house with me and the girls until the end of the rental agreement, at which point we would part ways, with her taking the girls and me becoming a secondary custodian of the girls with visitations. I don't think I need to agree to those terms. My lawyer says that this could be a form of her lawyer thinking I would go off the handle and violate certain clauses of the petition, thus giving her an even higher upper hand. Essentially, I believe she is trying to trigger me into getting myself into a situation where I would be on the losing end. Some other facts. She has 2 other kids from separate marriages. These kids do not currently live with us. The oldest one was taken from her by her father through the legal system, and the younger one was given to the court to her ex-mother-in-law, the latter one having had no contact with her over at least the last 2 years. I am not going to lie, I am terrified at the possibility of losing my kids. She has no resources to watch the girls like I do. The more stable environment is with me, but when I tried to reason with her, she felt like I was trying to take them away from her. My intentions are not to hurt her. My intentions are to protect my kids as much as I can. She would have full access to them, but I want to be their legal guardian as they have pretty much been raised by me. I'm terrified, I'm confused, I am angry at myself for letting me become a big wuss over the last 9 years. I've become soft and somewhat pacifist in hopes that she would be pleased, and now that I have to turn around. I have no friends. My life over the last 9 years has revolved around my home, my family, and a little bit of time I spend on the internet. I am alone, no one to talk to, no one to release nor vent with, and this crap hurts way too much to keep it inside. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. I have a lawyer. I am gathering as much information as I can. I am hoping things go my way, even though I am pessimistic. I have secured some counseling for myself to help me cope with this. I need to be patient, as hard as it is. I need to be the tough I should have been all this time. I just don't think I have the strength in me to carry it all out, but I have to for my girl's sake. I just want to wake up, realize this is all a crappy nightmare, and turn to my wife and kids and hug them and tell them how much I love them. Honestly, if there is another man, I don't really care anymore. For the last 3 years I've lived in fear of this happening, as I had my suspicions, both of my own and some of her coworkers, that it may have happened before, circa 2013, when we ran into a similar situation like this. My main concern right now is the well-being of my kids. I don't want them to spend time with friends while she is at work. I don't want someone not related to them taking care of them, and to that effect, I think I have a good chance, as I have the support of 2 members of my family which the kids are well acclimated to. She has little to no family here, and the only resource I can see her trying to use is not as reliable as it would need to be. I can't help it but to get the feeling that her intent with staying at the house is that I will eventually blow my gasket and put myself in a bad situation by yelling or getting into an argument with her. All things aside, my worries are keeping my kids. I tried reasoning with her as to the best suited situation would be with me, that I wouldn't keep them from her. These kids adore their mom, and I couldn't be that big of an A55 to prevent them from seeing what theirs is rightfully. Still, she wants to argue that point with me. She wants to say that she is willing to leave one of her jobs to make time to handle them, but quite honestly, I don't see her doing that before. The last time we had this issue, the girls ended up with me the majority of the time because of her work schedule. I don't know y'all, I'm scared, but I also have sensed that things can go either way. However, I don't want to give myself any bit of a false sense of security at this time. All I know is that I now know and hate the feeling of your entire world caving in, and it's not even been a week. This work week has been tough. Tuesday was horrible, as I sat at home crying my balls out thinking why this is happening to me. Wednesday the kids came home and it went much better. Talking to my mother and spending time with the kids definitely helped, until it was time to go to bed. My oldest one asked me where her mom was, why wasn't she home, and why couldn't she have a normal job where she was with us every night. It took a whole lot in me to keep calm and not break into tears. There she was, crying her little eyes and upset, wanting her mom, and I could do nothing about it but try to comfort her and tell her that it was okay. If this is the sort of stuff I can expect for the next few weeks, I don't that I will be able to make it. But I'm going to have to. I have a lawyer. I have read the list as it was linked before, and I've been documenting things from the evening when I was given the news. And even go back more than a few months from memory, Facebook posts, messages, and even text messages. I have documented every single verbal exchange. I have downloaded all of my text messages, even the ones where I mentioned to her the fact that I was not too happy with her being away so much, if only knew what was coming. Messages where I mention our kids being upset, waking up crying in the middle of the night asking for her. Messages where my oldest is wondering why mommy isn't home, and wondering why she doesn't want to be home with us. I've gone back as far as I can remember and noted all the days she has been away from home, the days she has spent with us, kids. I've got spreadsheets going, and even video and audio messages of how the girls feel about their mama not being around. I realize today this has been planned for some time. And given our interactions as early as last week, I am still dumbfounded about it all, but I am trying to wrap my head around it. Nothing else to do but to carry on and look after the better being of my kids. Her deal is she believes that I would do the same that the others have done to her. Keep the kids away from her, hide them, and just not allow them to see her. As I have explained to her, my intent is not to do that. The kids love her dearly, and I could not bring myself to make them put her in anything other than the pedestal they have her on. I've offered her full access to them, with the only stipulation that the kids live under my roof. This, in my opinion, would best duplicate the current situation. They don't see her but a few days and even less nights a week. This would keep the consistency and stability that they have come to expect. In my mind, that is the best option. Unfortunately, her fear of me keeping them from her is obviously greater than anything I have offered. In our current situation, neither of us are able to carry on a long and drawn-out proceedings. We still have bills that need to get paid and responsibilities that need to be kept. We have both pretty much depleted savings with the first few stages of this. I know I don't have a lot of resources, and resources I thought she and I have verified are not and were not there. She is horrible with money, which does not surprise me. At this point I am hoping she agrees to the terms I have asked for, but I have no confidence that she will agree. Who am I kidding? She will never agree. It's in her nature to be that way. I've known this woman for a long time, and the idea of her not getting her way will not appeal to her. Does she make more money than me? Somewhat. She has 3 jobs compared to my 1 job. Her ability to manage money properly is simply not there. Case in point, she has been working at this one place for about 3 to 4 months, and despite not bringing any of that money into the household, she barely had the money for her lawyer. If she has more, it is in her business account, and well, I have been court-ordered to not look into it. A year later, as of August of last year, the child's mother and I started the process of a divorce. Naturally, we do not live in the same house. The temporary orders have granted me custody, and we are almost a year in the process and set to hopefully finish it soon. Cross fingers. I tend to my kids' needs as any parent would. School lunches. I'm involved with their schools. I do homework with them daily. We go out to places and do things both for structure and fun. Read books, watch TV, go out for walks. I have been taking them to a therapist to help them deal with the divorce, but I think her mother and I have done a pretty good job of keeping things between her and I and making the divorce as easy as possible on them. Both kids are currently healthy, doing well in school, and seem to be perfectly okay until recently. Over the past few weeks, my oldest daughter, she is 8, has caught a nasty attitude. She goes through mood swings at the drop of a hat. She can go from cold to boiling hot in seconds. There has been a lot of attitudes and picking on her little sister. When I ask her what is upsetting her, she is not willing to talk. If she gets mad, she shuts down, and there is nothing that anyone will say to get her out of that state, but usually it passes within a few minutes, and she is often back to her regular fun-loving self. This is nothing new to me. Her mother used to do this, and while we never did any arguing in front of them, I am fearful that she is taking on some of those traits. I have tried and explained to her that talking about her feelings is completely acceptable, and it is usually the only way things can get fixed. When 2 people communicate, it opens the road to fix the cause of the problem. Yes, I realize she is a girl and I am a man, but I have never had any issues with her or my other child communicating anything with me. We have been very open, and that is something I have always taken pride in, as honesty and openness is something I was not always able to get from their mother, so this is very frustrating to me. Some friends have mentioned that it may be the onset of puberty. Cases and studies have shown that puberty is starting to hit female at a much earlier age than what would be considered normal, and if that is the case, then so be it, but I just hate to see her get so upset, and seeing her feeling out of control is stressful as hell. We typically do a debriefing after such an event, and I do this to reassure her that no one is mad at her and that it is okay to be in a bad mood some days, but that acting out and lashing out at others is not always acceptable. Is puberty really hitting this early nowadays? Ever since the divorce started, and honestly before we broke the news to the kids, I have been taking them to a counselor, therapist. My goal was to prevent them from shutting down like her mother usually does, to play out their emotion, and to answer any questions they may have but not want to ask me. After about a year of temporary orders, the time is nearing for my scheduled final court appearance. I feel like, despite the fact that I should be comfortable in my position, I cannot relax now. I have my argument documents, evidence, and most importantly the stability I have been able to provide to my kids without her assistance, so while I am confident, I don't want to relax in a way. I have friends that have gone through this. They've explained to me what all is going to take place and how it is all supposed to play out, but as I am sure some of you know, each judge is different, each divorce is different. I for one will have to deal with everything from custody to financial issues, so that simply adds to the stress of it all. Playing multiple scenarios in my head, how and when I want my lawyer to bring evidence, and trying to figure out how this judge will take all of this. It has been and will be an uphill battle for me, as most courts in Texas are mom-friendly courts, but what I have on my side is that I have been the one who has mostly cared for the kids since they were 2 to 4 weeks old, while working my 40-plus hours shift and maintaining a household. Since the temporary orders have been in place, I have done nothing different than what I was doing before, except now I am under the scrutiny of the court, which makes the whole process a bit more nerve-wracking than it should be. A month later, so the time is near. My final court date is upon me, the time when I get finally kick her cheating bottom out and carry on with my life. However, there are a few things that really concern me, and I hope some of you that may be more experienced in the matter could shine some light on. 1. My daughters are currently living with me, and of course the fear of having them ripped from me is ever present. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. I have done everything by the book. The kids go to school, get to school on time, do their homework. I take care of them like I have been for so long. The kids are healthy and are as best adjusted as possible considering the situation. My oldest one is having a bit of a rebellious bout to her, but we experienced this early last year, so we are working through it. I don't do meds. I don't drink when the kids are around. I am involved with their school and their activities. It is my understanding that there has to be real huge reasons for custody to be transferred, but my fear is there, and as the date gets closer it is literally eating at my nerves. 2. I have been told many a times that I have nothing to worry about, but man, I am worried. My nerves are going crazy and I just want this to end so I can move on with my kids. I have never kept them from their mother, but I just think that I am the better parent to raise them properly. There are finance issues that need to be addressed. We have bills that need to be paid for, cars, medical lines of credit she opened under my name, outstanding bills for cell phones, and move-out bills form the last place we live together in. Are these even worth the pain in the bottom it will be to argue over? A few years later, I got married again. I met my new wife about 20 years ago when we were both teenagers, but we never dated. As time went on, we both went our separate ways, and not until a few years ago we got in touch with each other through a mutual friend, started dating, and eventually got married late last year. Our new relationship is awesome, and I realize there is always someone out there. My comment, a short happy ending to balance out the other endings we have on here. Story 2. I don't know what the hell to do. My husband 3 weeks ago tells me he is not happy and doesn't feel loved. I try to tell him I'm sorry and that let's go to counseling and I will make him happy again. Well, at first, he said okay, but he changed his mind. To make things worse, he told all his problems with a homewrecker older than him, and now he likes her cause she listens and is nice. He is married. He would never do this to me, but he is. I have literally told him everything he would want to hear. I will do anything for us to get better. Why not try? I don't understand. I have breakdowns and cry, and he feels bad and acts like he loves me just to leave the next day. Everyone says this is not him. I finally gave in and said get a place. I will help you, but don't date them for a while, and my kids don't go by them. He said okay, but then left and stayed at their house because they told a married man they can stay with them till he finds a place. Yes, I don't want him over there and it drives me crazy. He told me he knew it was wrong, but he has to stay somewhere. I'm so upset, my heart is broken, I just want him back. Do I keep trying? Do I let him go and try later? I don't know what to do for him to change his mind and want me again as long as we work on things. No other woman will make him happy right now. He is still with me. I hate this so bad. I'm not a bad person. I say things sometimes and I try to show love, but why leave me and your kids? I think about the other person that I want to beat and I get even more upset. What to do when I want him still? I want a second chance. Why won't he agree? I don't want to lose hope forever, but I don't know. My husband came home today and I was talking to him about trying counseling tomorrow. I started talking to him again and he started crying. He said he does care now about us. He thought he didn't and he feels bad about how he's been. He has to think about stuff, but he had to go back to the girl's house and talk with her. Why? I don't know. Maybe to tell her he will stay with me. I don't know. I told him to come back home and not stay there again and he said he didn't know. I just hope this works all out. I know he misses the kids and me and I just want hope. He has not done anything with her, just talked. I agree he didn't need to go there, but he said he has to talk to someone other than me. He told my uncle he loves me and really doesn't want to leave me. My uncle told him she's a rebound and if he gets with her it will be a 2-week thing and she will be done with him. He told me he cares now, which is a step up from not caring and not wanting me. He can think better if she's not around, and I don't understand him going there to talk, but this is a marriage with children and if we can work it out then I'm all for it. He doesn't have her phone number, just her address. I checked. I don't understand his reasoning, but I hope she don't make it worse. I just want him home. He stayed at her house and they talked all night about me and him and her, I guess. I am very mad. I feel kind of stung around from my own husband that doesn't know what he wants. He should know me, not somebody he only knew a couple months. Don't talk to her, talk to me. I'm just sad and mad and he says he still doesn't know. How can he not know? Who the hell is more important? Your family. We got counseling tonight, so I hope the counselor tells him like it is. Tonight, I'm going to tell him, if he goes there one more time, I'm done with him. No back and forth crap. I've had it, my emotions can't take it. I'm not codependent totally. I just have been with him 7 years and it's only been 3 weeks since he started this crap. It's seriously insane. I talked to him quick cause he's at work. I told him his 5-year-old daughter said she is mad at him, and when I asked her if she was sad, she looked still and had tears in her eyes. He got upset. I said, what did that other girl say? He said she told him she likes him, but the way he is feeling to go back to his wife and kids. He still says he doesn't know because she makes him happy. I said she only makes you happy now cause you're emotional. He doesn't know what he wants and I don't know what else to say. One more thing, I'm kind of scared. I don't want to be by myself, this is hard. He has a for now person and I don't, but I don't want one. I just been with him 7 years and now, nothing, and I'm sad. Well, he did come back. A few days ago he realized he couldn't live without me and the kids. And now he knows I really love him and he wants to do everything to work on this. He did sleep with her and didn't use protection. I had him get a polygraph test to see if there were other, and there were not. So, we move on from here, counseling, and he has a lot of work to do to get trust back. He said he would never do this again because he felt so bad and it hurt everyone so much. Even though part of me believed him, I still had to get it done. It was $300 and in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Even though it seems like a lot of money wasted, to move forward I had to know if he was lying or not. Oh, but whatever, there are about 6 different places out here that do them. Some are pricier and some are not. My comment, or I should say my question to you all, would you accept your partner after a clean poly? Comment down below. And I got one more video coming in the afternoon.